Hey, what's going on? YouTube, sneakertube.tv, Twitter, Facebook, who am I leaving out? Sneakerplay.com. It's your man Air Jordan 14 back with a new video here. It's actually a performance review, and we will be doing for today's review the LeBron 9. So let's just get right into it here. Just move one of the shoes. Now, as I like to do, I always like to, you can see this, I always like to start with the inner of the shoe here, because quite honestly, it doesn't matter how good the other aspects of the shoe are. If the shoe is uncomfortable to wear, then all of those other things are moot points. So, let's start with the inner here. It's showing up. There we go. As you can see, the majority of it is lined with a very smooth material in terms of around the heel, and it's very sculpted around back here on the heel and the Achilles area, and also leading into the tongue is integrated into the inner, and it forms a booty, and I'll get into that more when I get up to the fit. Everything is smooth except for, hopefully you can see it, these blue areas here that basically would line up with your malleolus, which are those two bony protrusions on both sides of your ankles, and that's to help, of course, with fit, because this is what I've understood, actually the Nike Pro Combat material, which is and this is the only part that is not smooth per se to the touch. Basically, in terms of the inner, there aren't really, I shouldn't say really, there aren't any actually discomfort in terms of raised areas or stitching or anything of that nature that might cause some discomfort. Playing, let me say that. For me, because I usually, what I do is wear my shoe maybe for a day or two casually before I actually play in it. I had more issues just wearing the shoe casually from these pro combat areas, because I'm trying to hold it at an angle so you can see it. It actually extends all the way down to the bottom of the footbed, and sometimes when when you're wearing them casually, they're not laced up, so they're usually something to that effect. So because of that, I guess my foot was kind of moving around, and it was causing a little bit of aggravation right there. But once you play and you cinch everything up like that, the inner, it locks everything in place. So I didn't have any issue from the inner in terms of actual playing, but I did just walking around casually. So I did want to let you know that. Now, starting with the bottom here, as you can see, I'll move back just a little bit. You've got, hopefully you can see it. There we go. You've got this majority of the black area here, which is comprised, and I don't know if I can get close enough for you to see it. It may show up. It's actually interlocking sixes, and it forms kind of like a chain link deal there on a fence. And this rubber is a bit harder. And then the white parts here, they kind of have this texture here on the outrigger, and then extending on the outside of the lateral part of the foot and into the heel. This white portion, as you can see, it's kind of a textured type design here. And you can tell this rubber, you may not be able to, is a bit softer. And I'll show you up there as well. Now, the net result from this, despite not having any traditional herringbone or anything like that, the traction on these was out of sight. In the time that I played in them, I didn't have any issues with slipping or anything like that on any of my cuts or playing defense or anything to that nature. The traction on these was really impressive, And I was actually surprised because when I initially took them out of the box and I saw this, I had some trepidation. So, like I said, in the course of my testing of these, the traction worked out very well. And I think part of it was, like I said, the rubbers on here, say with the black being harder and this being softer, the combination of the two just really seemed to work well together. Where I guess the softer parts being able to kind of grip the floor in conjunction with this harder rubber here on the medial side, it just does an excellent job on the traction. So there was no issues from that. So definitely give that a high score. Now, the cushioning here, as you can see here, we've got in the back here is a 180 bag here in the heel, and then up front in the forefoot here, we've got a Zoom Air bag here, and you've got a Cushion midsole. I like this cushioning setup a little more than I did in the LeBron 8, as more of a guard type player. I'm not like a point guard, but more of a 2, I guess, and sometimes I slide into the post occasionally. I did like the combination, though. Typically, I do like zoom in heel, front and back. But I'm glad to say that the cushioning on these was very good. It wasn't quite as responsive in terms of the Zoom Air that I would have liked, and I'm not sure if I think it has something to do. Maybe it's a little bit. Okay, the sock liner here. Hopefully you can see it. It's Ortholite, and it is a bit thick. And Ortholite does, give you some, I guess, some springiness, and it is kind of a little thicker. And I don't know if that. I'm thinking that was why I couldn't feel it, because what I did just to test this out, I actually took. This is the stock insole. And this was one I took out of another shoe, actually the Air 3. And they're not here, but for those of you, the Garnet 3s. And as you can see, I'm trying to line it up here. As you can see, this one on my right, and it'll be on the left on the camera, is a great deal thicker. And I did notice while playing in that I could feel it a little more, the cushioning in terms of this one right here, than I could with the stock insole. Now, with that being said, Ortholite is great, and I really enjoyed it. I like some of the antibacterial properties that it has. And I do hope that as far as the LeBron line, they continue to use it. But I just wanted to see if it would make a difference, and it made somewhat of a difference. But despite that. Despite me not being able to feel it as you would maybe in a Kobe or a Hyperdunk or something like that, the cushioning in this shoe was very, very good. It did an outstanding job of soaking up the impact protection. That in conjunction, like I said, the Zoom and the Max 180 bag, the Cushion midsole, which you can see here around the top of the airbag. Extending here, and then there it is on the medial side. That's Cushion. Did an outstanding job. So, my feet or knees or anything wasn't sore. Anything in terms of cushion-related issues, did not have it with this shoe. Let's slide up a little more to the upper here and kind of get into the fit. Move this other out of the way. Now, as you can see here, this is I guess you'd call it a combo upper. I kind of do. What you've got here is you've got Hyperfuse, and move it up so you can see the fly wire up here around the forefoot and the midfoot area here. Excuse me. And of course, you can see the Fuse upper And then you've got a lateral support wing here, a la the Air Max Penny 1. It kind of put me in that mind there. And the net result from all this, one, it's actually, of course, it was lighter than the predecessor, particularly the V1, which is what I have primarily a lot of my experience in. And it gave you a great fit without the overly padded and restrictive feeling of the V1 of the LeBron 8. I was really impressed with the fit of the shoe. Everything really works together. Like I said, the fused upper and the flywire does give you the support attributes that you want without giving you all the weight that overlays can cause. And kind of coming back to what I said earlier about the tongue, it forms, it's integrated into the inner, and I know you can't see it, I don't even know why I just did that, but it's integrated here to form a booty. It hugs your foot really well, and when you lace these up, your foot's not going anywhere. I mean, once I lace these up, the lockdown was fantastic. It was absolutely amazing. My foot did not move, either front to back nor side to side, or even as far as the heel slip was non-existent within this shoe. And one of the things I like, it does that without feeling restricted. Now, let me say this, because with this upper and not even really the textile wing here, but I'm going to get into that. The upper right here, it can feel a little stiff. A la if you've ever played in a Foamposite base shoe, maybe like the Flightposite 3, the original, or some of the others. Basically anyone except the 2, because of the foam on the 2 was only in certain areas. But that's kind of what it reminded me of. In terms of that, it can feel a little stiff starting off, which is why I wore mine around for a couple days before I started. But as far as the stiffness, it wasn't a detractor. It was slightly noticeable, I will say that. So in that aspect, I always knew the shoe was there. It didn't cause me any pain or anything like that. The only issue that I had as far as the fit, because if I can hold it up like this, from here down, wonderful, awesome fit. The only real issue I had was maybe up here. I'm sorry, I had to turn it this way. Was up here where my toes were, and thinking because the way it's constructed and the inherent stiffness of the material, it was kind of particularly right here on the big toe. When you move, it was kind of pressing into my toe a little bit. So a couple times when I would wear them, I did have some pain actually in my big toe, just from when you kind of move here. I know it's not, you may not be able to see it. This material, the fused upper was kind of pressing into my big toe a little bit, and it could be just because I have a really big toe, but it was pressing into that and causing a little bit of pain on a couple of wearings. So that was kind of noticeable and an unfortunate side effect of the shoe. That's really, as far as the actual fit, that's really the only detraction that I have as far as that. Everything else as far as fit about the shoe is really good. I don't know if you can see this here. I'm going to try to show you these. I love how the lace system is constructed, particularly these right here. And excuse me. Hold on, I'm trying to see where you. Darn, I hope you can see it. So right where my finger is, you've got two eyelets right there. Well, it's a flap with two eyelets on the side, and when you tie the shoe up, it really helps to secure the upper around your foot, and really helps with the midfoot fit, which I think is outstanding. So I did want to come back to that and make sure that those right there, they're well placed, and they really, really do their job. Before I forget, I need to say this about the it's kind of the cushioning, the outsole of the shoe. One of the things I did like is because it seems to me that because it's more angled on the lateral side, and then how it is more or less curved on the medial side, it gave, combined with maybe the slight flex grooves here, it gave such a natural feel underfoot in terms of the transitioning of the shoe from heel to toe and then from side to side. In that aspect, it definitely felt like an extension of my foot, and that was one of the things I noticed that really impressed me, and I was struck by how that aspect of the shoe was very, very natural feeling. Now, we go up to the support side, which I've kind of already touched on. Because the back of inside the padding here of around the heel and the Achilles area, in conjunction with the Pro Combat material, it really does a great job of locking your heel down, and there was absolutely no instance of heel slip or any type of movement, like I said, within the shoe. Combined with the slight, if you can see it, it's a slight outrigger right here. The shoe was never prone to tipping over on hard cuts or stops or anything like that. So the ankle support of these is outstanding. So in closing, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because it is running a bit long, but I hope I've been rather thorough. The LeBron 9 is a shoe I would recommend highly. If you are a bigger guard, maybe someone who slides between the 2 and the 3, or definitely 3 or 4, or even some light centers perhaps, I would definitely recommend this shoe. It's durable, perhaps possibly the exception. It seems this softer rubber here is a little more prone to wear, because I noticed, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, it may be slight, I'm anal about things like that, but it seemed to me right here when you're stopping or coming off or doing whatever, particularly if you're a guard cutting, it seemed to me the wear here was more excessive than I've noticed on other shoes. It could be because the rubber, like I said, does seem to be a bit softer. But other than that, like I said, the hyperfused, the fused upper with this textile support wing, which everything does its job. So the shoe is very, very durable. Point guards, you may want to look for something a little lighter, and something that, say, in terms of the upper is a little more freeing or forgiving in terms of the upper material, and there's plenty of great options out there for you. But other than that, this was a shoe I definitely enjoyed. I do recommend it, and it's definitely a great shoe, and Nike did a great job with this one. So this is Air Jordan 14. Going to sign off for this video, so definitely appreciate you taking the time to watch. If you're on Facebook, please head over and like me on Facebook at facebook.com/Air Jordan Sneaker Reviews. Well, I have these, all the videos are posted. If you got a few extra cents, head over to the WePay account and drop 50 cents or $1 in there or whatever, as I'm trying to launch this website here in the coming months. But everything, the support, it's appreciated. I just want to thank everybody for taking the time out to watch the videos. It is so appreciated. All the positive feedback, and just for the sneakerheads and the love. This is why I do it. So, with that being said, it's your man Air Jordan 14 signing off. But as always, before we do, have to pay our respects. This is your man, AJ14, wishing everyone happy kicks and peace.